Y'all, the Babysitter's back with a vengeance and, to my surprise, a budget.
Yep, the Babysitter cult returns in this unexpected Netflix sequel, and we're here to talk about it in this week's episode of Blerd Up Reviews,
The Babysitter Killer Queen. Welcome back to another episode of Blerd Up, where we talk about all things movies, music, TV, and gaming, all with a blurred twist. We're your host. I'm Killer Cam.
I'm Monique.
And today we are reviewing the movie, The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Yep.
Awesome. So when I ran across the original movie, the first movie, it was a total surprise.
Yeah. I think I actually heard about it from you. I think I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, trash. Like I didn't even look at it, but I think after you watched it, you were like, oh, you should watch this movie on Netflix called The Babysitter, and I was like, maybe I'll try it out. But after I did watch it though, I loved it.
Yeah, it was totally like a horror version of Home Alone, because it's kind of got that horror comedy aspect to it, but it was definitely a pleasant surprise. But I was definitely shocked when I saw that there was a Babysitter too. I was like,
I think everybody was. I don't think anybody expected a sequel to this movie, but one day it just popped up and there was a trailer for the sequel, and everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was actually a little bit worried because I didn't feel like the first movie needed a sequel.
Yeah, definitely. It just didn't feel like one of those movies. So you keep it all the way 100. It's kind of like a cult classic in the making. You know, it's one of those movies that no one pays too much attention to now, but 4 or 5 years down the road gains a following.
Right.
So I was very shocked and actually very happy to see that there was a sequel to this movie. So we're definitely going to jump into this review. But before we do that, please make sure you like and subscribe. If you are digging the content that we're putting out as a new channel, it helps us grow. And also, we do like to interact with people who are watching our content. So make sure you drop down in those comments also and let us know what you thought about the movie if you've had the opportunity to see it.
Yep. Also, be sure to click that notification button. So if you are interested in seeing future content from us, that notification button will let you know every single time we upload a new video.
Right. All right, so The Babysitter Killer Queen. This movie picks up 2 years after the events from the first one.
Yeah.
And we see that the main character, Cole, has grown up.
Yeah, a lot.
Immensely. I mean, this kid really shot up there. I had to look at IMDb to make sure it was the same actor, and it is.
Right, because when I first saw him and the 2 years popped up on the screen and they showed Cole, I was like, yo, this dude 26 years old in high school. But like you said, it is the same person from the first movie. But we do see, Cole kind of in this state now where he's just trying to make it through high school. But in the back of his mind, he knows that, all of these things have happened to him. He knows cults exist. He knows the devil exists, and he's at this point is just trying to stay sane and, keep it together.
And I think the other thing to point out is on top of all that, he's just coping with adolescence. Period. When you're in high school, junior high school, that's kind of an awkward time for you because you're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to get a social life, and if you don't necessarily fit in with the in crowd, that can kind of be a rough thing. So you kind of see him struggle with that in this movie.
Yeah, throughout the movie, you see so many people trying to convince him that he needs to be a normal kid, but we already know from the events from the first movie, he's not a normal kid, man. He's a weird kid, and then there's nothing wrong with that. I'm weird, you're weird.
Right.
We like the things we like, but he has this immense pressure on him to be like everybody else when he's not. And that's kind of a good thing, as we can see, as we see throughout the movie. I'm not going to go into details as to why, but I think being a weird kid is where he actually shines through in this movie.
Most definitely. So, as the events continue, the movie comes on. Of course, there's a return here, which I really enjoyed about this movie because the majority of the characters who were in the first movie came back for the second movie.
We saw that in the trailer.
For continuity. You got King Bach, you've got Bella Thorne, you've got Samara Weaving, of course, who is the babysitter. She plays B. And I think the kid's name is Judah Lewis, I want to say.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I have to look. I have to double check. But I found that like refreshing because even his parents came back, who are kind of like comic relief in a sense. But overall, Cole's just trying to operate within his daily life, and he's got his best friend, which is kind of like his support here, who's just trying to help bring him out of his shell. But it's just really difficult. So as the events start in this movie, guys, I can't lie, it's a whirlwind. Like, if I had to picture a movie being rock and roll, this was that movie for me.
Yep, I totally loved it. Again, going back to the first movie, it was totally something unexpected that I didn't think that I would like. The style of the film was totally Mick G, and he directed the second one as well. But I just love the style and way, and this is actually going into the likes of the movie. I love the style and way it was filmed, the fun that's had throughout. Also, man, thank you for the bigger budget, because the kills in this one, I'm not going to go into details, but I absolutely positively love the kills.
You know what?
They take it a little step further than in the first one.
I'm almost daring to say these kills were kind of iconic. The first one had some really good kills, but this one, man, blew that one out of the water. When it comes to the kills, you got the soundtrack, which was pretty lit, considering, but Mick G, he's known for having those real tight pop culture type soundtracks. The comedy, outstanding. And the thing that I noticed about this movie, because I laughed a lot. It's stuff that I didn't think I would laugh at, but the one-liners in this movie were absolutely phenomenal.
I'm pretty sure they told King Bach to just go ahead and ad-lib.
Improvise,
because I felt like he did that throughout the movie, which made it even better for him. And also going back to the characters from the Babysitter cult that returned, I'm actually glad that they expanded a little bit on them in this movie. I'm not going to go into details, trying to keep this spoiler free, but we do learn a little bit as to why they're so driven to participate in these events.
And not only that, those backstories are told in a really fun way. It's a really fun way, which again comes back to that Mick G aesthetic. In my opinion, this movie, the writing was far more superior than the first one. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first one. I wasn't mad at that one at all, but this one was just like, I almost want to say that if they tried to do this with the first one probably wouldn't have done as well as it did. So I'm glad that this sequel came about, because it allowed them to just basically turbocharge the story. Any
dislikes about this movie?
This is really petty. I did have one dislike of this movie, and it was Samara Weaving's wig. It was Party City all the way, and it was bothering the hell out of me.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I knew it was something that I didn't like about her. Like, it was driving me crazy. I couldn't figure it out, but I think you might be right. I think it might be the wig that was like, I really don't. There's something, like, it's agitating me, and I can't figure it out.
It was the wig. It was the wig. Not 100%. But also, when it comes to the ending, and again, I'm not spoiling anything here. For me personally, I do feel like the ending was a little bit I was just kind of like not too impressed. But with the movie as a whole, with what it gave me, I mean, let's just be honest here, this is a fun movie. This isn't some literary masterpiece. This isn't something you're going to watch to try to break down and find Easter eggs or something like that. It's really get a 6-pack of beer, do a couple of shots with friends, watch this movie, laugh, have a good time.
Especially if you're a fan of some of the what is a good example? Like some of the older horror type movies, Death Proof. I kind of thought this was similar to Death Proof.
Almost a grindhouse type movie.
So definitely something to watch, fun filled, just relax, have a good time. I would definitely recommend this movie. What would you give it on the Blerd-o-meter?
So on the Blerd-o-meter, okay, so I'm gonna give actually probably 3 different ratings here. All right, so the movie as a standalone movie, I give it a 6 as a standalone. However, you couple this movie, you make it a double feature night. You watch the first one, you watch the second one. Mm-hmm. I actually bump it up to a 7.5. Mm-hmm. So, because it adds a little bit something extra to it. Mm-hmm. In terms of, I was going to try to rate it on another scale, but you know, I think I'm comfortable with that. So, as a standalone, 6. As a double feature with the original, 7.5.
Okay, well, I'm going to go one step further than you, because you did have 3, and I'm going to stick with the 3.
All right.
Standalone movie, I would probably give it a 7. I'm a little bit one more up than you. Couple it with the first movie, I'd give it an 8. In terms of the kills, I would give it a 10.
Kills. Okay, so that third rating, I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you watch it for anything, if you're into horror, if you're not sensitive, you know, if you do like kind of like that grindhouse aesthetic on a movie, these kills are going to take you out. And I totally 100% agree with that 10 rating.
Yes. Yeah.
Samara Weaving's wig, though, you get a 1. Yeah. A 1. Y'all could have did better. Maybe that
was on purpose.
No, it wasn't on purpose. But here's the thing that just to kind of touch on, though, I'm really proud of the people who were in this movie. Samara Weaving has come a long way, you know, from just taking this one as a smaller role, but what she did with Ready or Not, like I really enjoyed that, and I'm starting to see her pop up in a lot more movies. King Bach, a YouTuber, like making his way into this movie and actually entertaining and keeping the story moving. You can't discount that, dude.
Yeah, and I actually have to say that. In the first movie, we didn't get a lot of time with King Bach. In the second movie, we do, and absolutely, I loved every minute of it. His delivery and one-liners. I mean, it perfectly sums up everything, like the moment every single time. So
definitely some improvised moments from him, which definitely worked with the movie. So, who would I recommend watch this movie? Again, if you guys are just looking to have a good time, you know, considering now the pandemic is happening, we don't have that much to watch these days. This is something you can throw on a Friday night, a Saturday night, you know, kill some time, have a couple of beers, and just escape, you know.
Or a glass of wine if you might be the person. Or a couple of glasses or a bottle. Just get a bottle.
Yeah. All right, so that's our review and recommendation for The Babysitter, Killer Queen. Wondering if any of you guys have had the opportunity to take a look at it. If so, again, make sure you drop down in those comments. Let us know how you felt about the movie, because I thought it was a wild ride.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. Totally, again, I feel like they hit me with something unexpected again. I totally went into this movie like, you know, sequels are rarely better than the first one, but I think they did their thing on this one.
Definitely. All right, until next time, again, we're your host. I'm Killer Cam.
I'm Monique.
We'll see you on the next episode of Blerd Up.
Thanks, guys.